fashion, probably cause I never could. Said if I had it, never would. Then I got my first little taste of paper and I splurged. I guess it's just a nigga urge. This is the Boondocks. I swear, yo, I'm like Huey mixed with Riley. Thursday, I be trying to save the world, and then on Friday, I hit the club, hoping that my dick get rubbed by some fat asses. Niggas get the scrapping and you hear the gas blasting. Damn, older niggas ain't got no problem with me. My mama told me to speak like you got a college degree. You see, I can, but I won't, cause I'm saying what I want. Plus the slang that I speak don't change that I'm deep as the throat on the certified freak. Will she choke as we headed to the crib? Yes, I let her give me head so she don't remember where I live. My game is tight, baby, no need to bring pajamas, you ain't staying the night. No disrespect, I live. My game is tight, baby, no need to bring pajamas.
Yo, what's good? What's good, Ricky? What's good, Quessy? What's good, Giga? What's good? What's good? You already see what we got going on today, though. You already see what we got going on today. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. You know the funny part? My real name is Patrick, but your name on here is Ricky. I don't know if I can believe you, gang. I don't know if I believe you. You got your name on here as Ricky. That's pretty far. You know what I'm saying? Actually, it's not. It's not. It's like the second half of Patrick, but Ricky is crazy. Ricky, to go from Patrick to Ricky is diabolical, gang. That's diabolical. I don't know what type of people call you Ricky, but that's wild. What's good? What's good, Flex? And then Elvis said my coach is strong as fuck. How can I blow past the more and get to my spots? Get to my spots easier. You see, hold on, give me 1 second. By the way, whatchamacallit? We gonna get into some Shai. I had to see. Look. First and foremost, let me tell y'all why I even watched this Shai game instead of watching. The reason I ended up watching this game, right, the Thunder versus Mavs, instead of watching last night's Timberwolves versus Nuggets, is because Shai had 34 and then like 34 with 0 threes made. First and foremost, he had 0 threes. He was 0 for 1, and the only 3 he missed was the first shot of the game in the first 40 seconds. And so I seen him have that 34 or 32 or some shit, and then Kyrie and Luka had 9 points and then like 16 points. I'm like, there's something that Shai is doing, like play in and play out, like every single time down the floor, that's allowing him to get open looks and consistent looks, opposed to like a Luka or a Kyrie, because Kyrie had 9 and Luka had like less than 20, and that's crazy for the amount of talent that they have. And so I'm like, Shai's got to be playing this game in a manner that's just intellectually beyond that of other people, and not just doing it a couple times every now and then, but doing it consistently is where I was like, I got to see what he's doing. And I saw one thing he was doing every fucking play. Y'all won't believe it. Y'all won't believe it. Whether he made the shot, whether he missed the shot, he fucking turned the ball over. I don't know if he had any turnovers, though. He might have had 1 or 2, but not in the ways as to which, not in the same exact plays I'm talking about. But he was reading the same thing every time, and now it just makes everything make a lot more sense. I'm like, oh, he made that read, and then he made that read again, then he made that read again, then he got another open midi, then he got another open midi, then he got another open midi. I'm like, dog, this dude is playing out this world right now. So the fact that he didn't even get MVP, media fucked up. That's my gamer shit. If you see the email, I'm not gonna go all the way and check your email, gang. It's not that deep. Bro. All right, but Elvis, let me get to a question, and then Pierce, you said so insightful, like the way you look at plays. Hey, no problem, man. This is really my pleasure. This is what I do for fun, really. This is realistically what I do for fun. So, you going to VAR the Timberwolves or Nuggets next game? The next games, I might actually, depending on how that Thunder series is going, because I'm not gonna watch that Celtics joint, and the Pacers, Knicks possibly, but I'd rather watch these Western Conference matchups. I ain't gonna lie, I would rather watch these Western Conference matchups. So, yeah, let me actually go from top to bottom what I missed. So Elvis, you say your coach strong as fuck. How can I blow past them more and get to my spots easier? So you talking just about your coach. The thing about that is your coach gonna foul. If he's strong as shit and can't move his feet, he gonna foul, and you can't really call the foul, right? And so that becomes a different thing to where, can you shoot? Your best bet may just have to be out to outshoot him. You know what I'm saying? Outshoot him to the point where it's like you gotta step up, right? And it's not like you always trying to blow past him every single time. Because the fact you came in here and said, how could I blow past him more, shows me that blowing by him is the only thing you could do to try and score on him, right? And so now you have to expand and think of how can I actually open up this drive. And a lot of y'all don't realize this, right? A lot of y'all don't realize that if you want to actually become a good driver consistently, you got to get good at shooting. Whether that's a shot, just triple threat, shot off the swing, spot up, you got to at least be respectable to the point where once you actually go up against competition who's not dumb, who's not just going to sit there and guard up everybody, them brain dead defenders, who just going to try to play everybody with pressure, regardless if you got a shifty ass handle or not. There be some hoopers who be brain dead like that, right? Y'all know them brain dead hoopers, them brain dead teammates who just be playing dumb, right? Once you stop playing against those defenders so often, you're going to end up seeing that, you're going to end up getting yourself against defenses where people are actually like, oh, he's just doing this. All he can do is drive, I'm going to drop back. Or all he can do is shoot, I'm going to run him off the line. It's going to be whatever according to what you're just constantly doing. So you got to figure out ways as to which you can leverage what you're really good at and then get other things around it respectable so it opens up those things. Let me make sure I got everything in here. So yeah, you need to see if maybe the shot may be the way so you can get past people. And then Pierce, you said I'm a 6'1" freshman shooting guard, small forward, skinny at about 150. How can I dominate in game and during practice to show I could start on varsity next year? I'm a good shooter. I could drive, pass. So you said you're a good shooter first, which is already assuming that that's what you're automatically like. That's the best thing you do. It's probably the best thing you do. And now, in what manner are you a good shooter? Are you just a good Pierce? Answer this question for me. Are you just a good spot-up shooter, meaning that if your teammate drives and kicks out and you got it, then like you can knock those down? Or are you somebody who could actually run off screens, who could get a pin down to go off a curl, who could get some sideline out of bounds, baseline out of bounds plays ran for him, because you could shoot like that? Are you that type of shooter? I'm assuming it's probably the first one, because not a lot of people decide to get into the area of that next level of spot-up shooting, of catch and shooting. So answer that question. Answer that for me. I didn't make NSL ball summer camp, bro. I'm dead. Wait, what happened? What is that? ONLX or ONLX, whatever that is. What is that? Also, you got any tips on recovering from an ankle sprain injury? Contrast therapy. Ice, hot water massage. I do that shit all the time, and then of course I do my little ankle strengthening exercises and stuff, workouts and little shit like that. So yeah, I'll say contrast therapy is the best thing to like reduce swelling, because that's what happens when you get that sprain, that inflammation, that swelling. That's what gets that swelling out, and then the ankle strengthening, the balance, single leg balancing, strengthening your calves as well. Will help a lot with those ankle sprains. Protein supplement at 15. Protein is just protein. Protein is a macronutrient. You realize that? Protein is just a macronutrient. So like if you came in here talking about should I take alpha adrenic receptor enhancers or some shit like that, and that's a steroid. That's a steroid. If you said some shit like that, is that healthy to take at 15? Then I'll be like, fuck no, don't do that shit. But protein is a macronutrient, so if you're taking a protein powder, you're just getting more of a macronutrient you need in your diet. So there's no bad thing to it. And I would also say when it comes down to supplements, refrain from using like having the need to use like creatine or like pre-workout and things like that. I would say refrain from that. If your diet is not as sharp as it possibly could be already, and your body's still not doing what it needs to do, you shouldn't even be thinking about trying to get supplements. Should not even be thinking about it. Like a lot of y'all see all these supplements as quick ways to help you get balance or recover better or get you stronger. But before you even revert to using supplements, you got to just look at your diet, look at your nutrition. If that shit is not maximized to a T, according to how much you have financially to then get yourself to eat, then you should even be thinking about the supplements that you should be taking on top of whatever that you're doing, right? You should even be looking towards that. So that's an important part you also gotta pay attention to. Make sure your diet and everything is solid. Okay, where was I at? I had asked some. Okay, so boom, Garden bench center from half court. Yeah, I talked about that shit a little bit last stream. It's a Canada elite team in Ontario. Okay. And you didn't get the chance to go to the camp? Is that on you, or is that on you thing, like you didn't go try out or some shit, or you just didn't get picked or something? What happened? What stretches should I do for my knees? I almost tore my left meniscus a month ago. Play yesterday, almost tore my. What the fuck is going on with you, gang? Never had this problem before. I really had to stretch. The thing is, that's where you're already fucking up. Do you realize all stretching is doing is elongating your muscle, right? It's just elongating the muscle, and it's not bringing any sustained length to that muscle. It's just for a brief period of time. And the reason people even stretch before they work out is so that when the muscle does stretch, blood flow is able to get into those areas. That's the purpose of stretching in itself. It's not gonna elongate the muscle and lengthen the muscle for an extended period of time. It's only gonna do it for a brief period of time. And now what it will do when blood does get there, it'll make it easier for that muscle to lengthen and shorten when you're using it in a workout, right? But a lot of y'all think, oh, I got knee pain, or I may have hip pain, or I may have glute pain. I got ass pain, right? And you're like, damn, I need to stretch more. But in reality, all you got to do is get stronger in those areas and not try to stretch those areas, because the only way to fortify that muscle is to strength train so it could endure more when you're going through these high force movements that you do in basketball. And not, oh, let me go stretch and lengthen this muscle for this short period of time. You need to actually go and strength train. And even if you strength train, realize this too, right? If you go and strength train in low ranges, at end ranges, you will not only improve your strength, but you'll improve your strength in length, which is the most important thing when it comes to playing low, right? So if you want to play low, the reason that you got to train low is that you're forcing your body to get stronger when your muscles are lengthened. And now when your muscles are lengthened is when it's most vulnerable and most susceptible to injury, right? And so at that point, that's why a lot of people do get hurt when they try to get into these ranges when they do hoop. But if you do train yourself to be strong in that position, you reduce the possibilities tremendously of you actually getting hurt by trying to get in these positions. So you got to strength train and not try to stretch all the time. That's the key when it comes down to it. You got to strength train. If you want to play low, or if you want to play low, you got to train low. There's not many times where I get a shoot off a screen, but I'm really consistent. I can make 7 or more threes in a row during practice and can just pull up in front of people's faces and make it. I specialize in 3-point shooting and mid-range fadeaways, but I can really get shifty and drive to the rim. So I would say there's not many times there's not many times you get to shoot off screens. I would say you got to pattern your game so that you could be as, what's the word for it? So that your game could translate the best possible way to an actual game, like the actual offense your coach will really run, right? And so just thinking about any typical offense, if you're already not getting many threes off screens, that might be what you should work on, and learning how to slip out of them, how to pop, how to set it down, or how to get these pin downs and screens from other players, because that's what you're going to get in a real game. Or you could just simply think about whatever your coach does if they don't do that often, and then see what spots you get in and working on it from there. But you said the first question you had before was, how could I dominate in game? Essentially, dominating in game comes down to a level of skill and a level of IQ to be able to apply all that which you have, right? The mental and the physical. So if you're unable to control the game at a level, or have a level of gravity that you wish you had more of, then it boils down to you either having the skill but don't have the mental, having the mental but don't have the skill, having the skill and having the mental, but it's just not at its capacity that you want it to be at. So at that point, it's just about getting better, right? Getting better. And now, what do you get better in becomes the question. You must now begin to think about what you do naturally well, the skills that is natural to you, that allows you to play your game, and then on top of the skills that allow you to play your game, think about what you're doing on the teams you play for. In the summer, the team that you play for, a high school club team, if you're overseas, whatever it might be, you think about those two things, then it's going to make skills training a lot easier. So you understand what to work on, and then things that would actually apply. because the ultimate goal is in-game results. Don't matter what you want to play like, doesn't matter who you want to pattern your game after. If you don't get those in-game results, none of that shit matters. So you just got to look at yourself and your own skill. Then you got to look at what you do with your team and the type of offense you run. And once you put that together and put those into individual workouts, into your skill workouts, into what you do in the weight room as well, then that's when you're going to begin to improve and then get to the point where you can dominate. So, yeah, it's vital though. Hopefully that kind of made sense. So if you said I could get shifty, I could get past people and all this other stuff, you need to establish that number one thing. You need to establish what's that number one. What's my gravity? You ain't get picked, now you're doing a 3-on-3 thing. At least lock in for the 3-on-3. Been waiting for this breakdown. We about to lock in today. We about to lock in. I may peek the Discord too. I'm probably gonna peek the Discord because I said I'll get to that today again as well. So let me drop the Discord and the Patreon links right here in the chat right quick. Let me drop that right quick. I'll pin both those messages at the top of the chat, but or both the links. How could you help your ankle heal faster? I just answered that. I just answered somebody's ankle. Someone just said they had an ankle sprain. I said contrast therapy, and then training your calves, strengthening your calves, and also your peroneals. And I train my peroneals mainly through balance, like working on single leg balance and things like that. And then I have a whole bunch of variations to it. Where was that? How do I shoot and stop missing left or right? Probably it's either your elbow or your follow through. One of those two usually tends to be. So look at your elbow, look at where you follow through with your shot. You following out this way, that's probably where it's going to lead the ball. You following out this way, which would be weird as shit, then you're probably leading the ball out that way. Or you may be shooting off the wrong finger, even. You might be shooting off the wrong finger. And if it is the elbow, all I will tell you to do is before you shoot, pinch your elbow, like this inner part of your elbow, pinch this to your hip. Pinch it to your hip. And then go up. That's all you got to do. I promise you. If that's the problem, if the elbow is a problem, I promise that's going to fix it. I just figured out when I was in high school and I struggled with like those left-to-right misses and not being able to get the ball in line, I'll think of little things I could tell myself, like to physically do, or like a little phrase or something that I could just tell myself at a certain point in time to fix a certain thing. So like the elbow thing, I'll just be like, all right, make sure you could damn near really feel that elbow to my hip before I shoot, right? So like I'm sitting here ready to shoot, and I can feel that elbow on my like oblique on my hip. So that helped me a lot. I mostly shoot off screens. I'm mostly shoot off the dribble, off the screen, and off hezzy pull. What counters do I need to add? The counters you add is super specific to you and how you move in your play, and also your feel. Like I can't really tell you. It's hard to just sit here. If I sat here and told you add this move, that move, and that move just based off what you told me, I'll probably be doing you a disservice. I'll probably be leading you more in the wrong direction than I am the right direction. I ain't gonna lie. Because there's so many factors that come into what counters you should add. How tall are you? What's the competition you play like? What's your feel for the game? And your feel for the game, I do not know. I do not know your feel. And your feel is just when you get on the floor and you're in certain spots and certain positions, what feels comfortable to you and what does not. Like, what's the type of things you're going to get into and really won't have to apply any thought to at all. Like, you're just going to kind of do it just based upon the vibe of the situation. Like, you know when you walk into a room and it's like, yo, the vibe is off. Or like, oh, the vibe is lit. When you step on the court, there's a vibe that you feel personally, individually, as a player. Meaning that the type of moves you use, how you see the defense, the type of gaps you see, the type of reads you make is going to be extremely specific to you in your own capacity, physically and mentally. And then spiritually as well, in an aspect of there's a lot of things that you do that you cannot really put any words to, and you just simply do it, which is why a lot of hoopers envy that flow state when they're unable to get there, right? When you're able to get to that flow state, that's when you just do shit and don't think about it, and it's like, yo, I don't even know how I did that shit, I just did it, right? That's the flow state, and that's what you want to be able to get to. But ultimately, like, being able to figure out what counters I need, what type of things I needed for my game and my skill set, that requires a lot of self-reflection. And then you going out to experience shit trying the shit out and seeing if that shit works. So you need to see it. You need to probably actually just try shit out. Just think about, okay, I got this. All right, what's the next level? And then try some shit out and then see how you like it. I'm skilled but can't play as well as I can in games. What am I doing wrong? There could be a number of things. Are you training at the right speed? Are you preparing for the right things? Are you going into the game without an ego? Meaning that I'm not trying to come in here and get my buckets and do what I want and get all the things I want, but are you actually going into this game and trying to win? You know, when you release the pressure of me, I, and you just play for we, all of us. Pause. Those might have sound crazy if you sound like that, but if you actually go into the perspective with wanting to win, it's going to alleviate all the pressure and probably going to make you play better. So let me get some water. You say you about to go hoop? All right, I cut you though, Ricky. If you actually about to go hoop. That shit with the elbow today really does work. I'm trying to tell y'all, bro. That shit works like a motherfucker. Anytime I'm missing shots left to right, I just literally tell myself, elbow to hip, elbow to hip, elbow to oblique. I'm 5'10", 15, great mentality and work ethic. When I work alone, I'm seeing progress and feeling free to try new moves. But when I'm in team practice, I lose my mind or be afraid to play. Any help? Keep playing against teams and keep playing against competition, because that's the only thing that matters. You can feel all this progress that you want when you work out by yourself. But the progress that you get by yourself when you work out only matters if that progress will translate to what you do in a real competition and live setting. That's the only thing that matters. Only thing that matters. So if you get in those situations, understand this, if you're one of those players who get to practice or get to games and you're just scared, you can't play your skill, you can't play your game, you can't do what you do, you got to now self-reflect on what all those other things that you do. Right? So even thinking about it from this perspective, right? I just want to talk about the fear part, this scarcity part, right? So if you're one of those players who can't translate their skill in individual workouts to then the 5-on-5 in a real game or just practice, you got to see that fear and see you being scared as a good sign, and you got to run to it, because on the other side of that fear and of you being scared lies the results that you want, right? You gotta now chase that fear, chase that scarce mentality, so that you could be able to fix that problem and get the result that you want. And so seeing that level of negativity and discomfort is a good sign. So you just gotta go to it. You just gotta simply go to it. Stuck at 5'11" for 2 years, you're dumb, bro. I grew 5'11" to 6 foot in 2 years. I'm still 15. How do I get into a flow state? What's the easiest pregame ritual? You got to realize this. If you want to be able to get into a flow state in a game, it's not about what you do before a game. It's about everything that you do before the game, right? Understand that, right? If you want to be able to get into a flow state when you hooping, it's not about what you do in 30 minutes or an hour before the game. It's about everything that you do before the game. Meaning, what did you do last night? What did you do in the morning? Meaning that the flow state is dependent upon the lifestyle that you live to formulate your mind so you can be able to play the best when it comes to the time, right? So you got to understand, you got to look at your habits, not just what I do an hour before a game. It's what I do in my entire life. So I could be able to control my mind consciously, be able to tap into myself subconsciously, right? Because that subconscious is that flow state. And then be able to go back and forth between the two. And that requires a level of neuroplasticity that a lot of y'all don't even want to partake in the process of getting and improving and increasing. But if you do, then you'll be able to tap into that flow state. So y'all got to really understand it's a lifestyle thing. Like, you got to learn how to control this when it comes down to anything, if you want to be able to just get into a flow in basketball. So you got to get better with your thoughts. You got to get better with your habits. You got to get better with all that you do on a day-to-day. Hope you're not late for the breakdown. You're not late. I'm going to go over the Discord probably for like 15 minutes, and then we're going to get into the breakdown. Just hit 16. Boom. You said that. What's good, Quessy? I seen you was here earlier. How do I become 7 foot? Hey, aren't they doing surgeries and shit nowadays? Aren't they doing them surgeries to extend your legs? You know what I'm saying? They extend the legs to get surgery. You can be 7 foot then. Save up some cheese. Get that whatchamacallit. Get that surgery done, gang. Did you see the clips I upload on Discord? Yeah, I watched the last stream, Questy. I watched the last stream. How does stationary ball handling help with catching and throwing a tennis ball? How does stationary ball handling with catching and throwing a tennis ball help? Hand-eye coordination, probably that's it. Hand-eye coordination, and probably helping to transfer dribbling to a subconscious level, not a conscious level, where the only thing you're thinking about isn't just your dribble, but you're also thinking about the tennis ball and being able to catch it, and allowing yourself to remain in a routine. Just keep doing the same thing over and over, dribble consistently, while you worried about the tennis ball and whatnot. So I don't really do any of that stuff. Like, you don't really, like, if you probably even ask like Kyrie or any of those crazy ball handlers, great ball handlers, they wasn't doing all these drills to get really good at ball handling. Oftentimes they just dribbled. They just dribbled day and night. Like, it was not no drills, not really cone drills. They lived with the basketball in their hands. And as a result of that, their creativity, when they just have the ball and they dribble, that shit just went through the roof. So I got an national league for my country, UK, and I'm surrounded by really good players and with other good guards. How do I still get buckets? Because I had 20 points per game last season. If you had 20 points per game last season, keep doing what you do. You know what I'm saying? Keep doing what you do. You too worried about your competition, and you're not worried enough about you. You should go into this this national league and not think about what the other player is gonna do when I guard them. You should be thinking about what's gonna happen to them when they have to guard me. You shouldn't be thinking about this from an inferior standpoint, meaning that you're worried about what they could do and their capacity and their skill sets and all this other stuff. But the only thing that you do know is the work that you put in and the results that you have gotten, and that's where all your confidence must lie. And anything that you see going forward should all be stemmed upon that exactly. You shouldn't be worried about what other people could do, because at the end of the day, if you're a hard-working hooper and you're also investing your time to get better day in and day out, like not just going to work out 2 times a day or whatever, having a smart workout, not just going home and watching bullshit content, but tuning into these streams or some shit like that. So you're actually investing into yourself. By the time you step onto the floor, you're going to fall down to the level of your habits, right? And all you know are your habits. And if you always worry about other people's habits, 99% of the time, if you operate at a high level, you're probably already outworking them, right? So you've already outworked them. They may be talented or whatever, but hard work's always going to come to light. So understand that. And if you always worry about other people, what's going to also end up happening is that you'll now get yourself to the point where you forget all the work that you put in. You're doing yourself a disservice by always sitting here and thinking about, oh, damn, I got this person to worry about. I got that person to worry about. I got that person to worry about. He's able to do that. He's able to do this. He's able to do that. But you forgot all the time that you put in the gym by yourself. You forgot the hundreds and thousands of hours that you put in so you could get better, just because you're worried about what somebody else is doing. And a majority of the time, I kid you not, they're not putting in no work. They bullshitting. A majority of the time, like even when I still go to the gym to this day, still be seeing people bullshitting. And like, even though you may be at a point where your results may be a little better than mine, good thing I don't live for now. I live for later, because I know later I'm gonna be greater than you could ever be. And it's not even gonna boil down to how much I get in the paper. It's gonna boil down to what I'm gonna be able to build up to, not even just from like the paper standpoint, from the money standpoint, or my notoriety and the clout, but also what I've just been able to achieve and accomplish in my own personal goals. So don't matter. So a long answer, but I know I've seen a bunch of questions, so hopefully that helped. That's only for the boom. Break your leg, you'll get taller. Wild the fuck. Frosty said, do you think the Thunder will win the series? It's looking real scarce out there with Luka and Kyrie not really showing up a few games, so it's getting real tough. 2 months ago, got 100K views. Yeah, that shit got 100. It got 100K maybe like a few weeks. Hit 100K a few weeks ago. I'm about to lock in though. I'm about to really lock in. So I'm about to really lock in. Let me say that. That's all I got to say. You're going to see the results for yourself. And when you see the results, just know that my results are a byproduct of my efforts and my habits. That's a byproduct. You think lifting at a young age will cause back pain or injuries because of growth, etc. I want to improve my vert, so really need to know something about that. If you lift to a point, if you try to do too heavy in weights, like I think you said you're like 15. When you lift, you can't try to lift for weight and how much you're lifting and like 1 rep max and all these high weights and doing like 2 rep maxes and shit. You got to lift for quantity and form. So try to go higher in reps, but also don't try to go crazy heavy in weight. Like I said before, you want to go technique and form over quantity and resistance. So that's the main important part, because it's just about stressing your system too much to the point where you do stunt your growth. And that could happen. But like I said, if you do too much, right? If you put in too much weight on the barbell, if you're doing too much of all that stuff that deals with resistance. Hope the Mavs could win against the Thunder. This series is 2-2. It's just tough. 2-2 is tough. I think the Mavs will pull it off though. Like they had a double-digit lead most of the game, and Luka and Kyrie's playing ass. I don't know if that's gonna happen like 2 more games, so we'll see. 15 is perfect to start lifting. Yeah, be light with it though. Be light with it though. That's why I think I'd be doing bullshitting, bro. That's why, Ricky, that's why I tell y'all, if y'all go to the gym, just do one thing, and I promise you'll get better. When you decide to go to the gym and work on 5 different skills, that's when you end up realizing you're bullshitting in the gym, and it's not going to translate to a game. If you literally just started as basic as, let me just work on shooting when I work out for 75 minutes today, you're actually going to see progress, because you could only improve through repetition. If you don't get no reps, you can't improve. Simple as that. Simple as that. So a lot of y'all like to go to the gym and work on finishing, ball handling, shooting, and then all the sub skills within each of those skills, right? Not just ball handling, but you also want to work on a snatch back, and you want to work on your 3-move combo. And then when it comes to shooting, you want to work on a step back, then a hezzy pull up, then a dribble pull up, and then a post fade and a spin or drop step fade like SGA or some shit. And then when you want to work on finishing, you want to work on your floaters, right hand floater, left hand floater, off 1, off 2, right hand, left hand, all this other stuff, right? And so since you're diluting this workout so much to so many things that require a shit ton of reps, you're not really going to get better at anything. And also mentally, you're going too many places. Like you're not able to invest enough of your mental energy to a certain skill so you can get better at it, right? But if you decided to go to the gym instead and say, I'm just going to work on my ability to shoot off the catch, off the swing passes, 75 minutes straight, I guarantee you will begin to see way more results than you ever have before doing that bullshit. I promise. Because not only is it hyper focused, it's also working on something you will get. Key word, will. You will get a swing 3. I can guarantee you that. A step back 3, probably not going to take that. Not just because the type of offense you run, but also because once you get in the game, you get too scared to even try it, right? So, boom, you're not going to do that move at all, right? You're not going to do that move at all. And if you did try, you're probably going to brick it because you're scared to try it, like I said before. So, that right there alone, if you working on too much shit, it's going to fuck your whole game up. Had Bronny being 6'1" and not 6'4", 6'1" without shoes. With shoes, he probably like 6'3". Shoes, he probably like 6'3", but I ain't gonna lie, it's gonna be tough. Buddy, damn near like an inch taller than me. What are you talking about? Buddy, like an inch taller than me. What are you talking about? But who do you think is the greatest? What do you think is the greatest strength of Shai? Honestly, I could say, he's shifty, his handle, boom, but it's his point of attacks. Let me say it like that. His point of attacks. Because a lot of players have the skill and the capacity, like physically and what they're able to do, but they don't have this and understand when to go and all those little things. So, like, when it comes to those great players, like, I guarantee you we'll probably see people who have a similar level of skill at that in the league or overseas, but they don't have this. Players in the NBA know how to apply this. They know how to properly attack and be efficient when it comes down to it. They know how to be cerebral. You know, Bryce, like probably 6'3". 6'3" is crazy. Yeah, he look a little taller than 6'3", Probably like 6'5". But we'll see. Of course, we'll see it as time goes along. Bronny got them Savannah jeans. Wild the fuck. I mean, Bron's 6'9" himself, so I mean, it's gonna be tough for him to be that as tall as Bron himself, because Savannah is not that tall. So, and I don't know how the jeans work and some shit like that. I may have to do research, but we'll see. But they definitely did lose a few inches. But I played pickup today. 1v1 was a downsized ball. Also, did I miss something? Oh yeah, no, I didn't. I ain't missed nothing. No, I didn't. Lost 2 times, but it was fun and good. Hopefully, he ain't get hurt. Better make sure he ain't get hurt. Should it be like a week shooting practice next week? Pull up next week. Pull up mid range. Like you could, but like I said, you got to think about what you need. What's something that you need? Swing threes. What's something else that you need? Step in threes. What's something else you need? Spot up play. Like that's something I always go back to, because y'all are always going to do that. Like always going to do that. Like you're gonna run into those situations at all times. Like, so y'all gotta really understand, like, you gotta work on shit you really gonna do. And then the other things as to which maybe a natural skill and talent is gonna show itself. And then as you play more and more, you'll also be able to see what that might be. And be able to develop your own little feel. Shoes give you 1 inch max. I guess he could be 6'2" then. 6'2". I guess you could say 6'2", maybe 6'2.5" type shit. But that's gonna be tough, especially in today's league. He was 6'4" with no shoes and 6'6". Motherfuckers still be tall as shit. No cap. Pull-up mids are so OP, especially when pulling up with speed. It depends on your style of play and depends on who you are. If pull-up mids are actually going to be your thing. Where else? Let me see this Discord, though. I keep getting into... I think someone already asked this question in the stream. Hold on. Out for the next 4 weeks. What did you hurt? That's the real question. Because I have a hamstring strain. No cap. The second I'm about to East Bay, right? I'm about to East Bay for the first time ever. And that's been my ultimate goal of my vert program right now that I've been going through. That I've been formulating on the side. That's been my goal. But the second I'm like right there, and I'm like, I just need one day some attempts just to be able to get them shits out and be able to just get the dunk down. I strained my hamstring, bro. That should be tough. But the thing is, like, I could do anything linear, but when I have to plant my right left like this, that's when the muscle that I strained in my hamstring does get aggravated. When I plant this way. And so now I can't jump off 2. And that's my best jump. My right left, my best jump right there. And so I could sprint in a straight line. I could jump off 1. I just can't go off that 2. So that's the crazy thing about it. That shit sucks. Wrist, work on your other arm. You thought it was early? What up? Yo, what's good? You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna start streaming earlier. Probably like 3 p.m. Probably an hour earlier, because I realized like I have like a point, like almost like a hour of time between when I finish watching this or I finish watching the game, and then I usually eat. That's like around noon. And I was like, why did I wait until 4? I'm like, fuck it, I'm gonna just start at 3. I'm gonna do a little bit of my research, my learning, and then boom, I'm gonna get into the stream. So I don't need to take no nap. I'm just go straight into it. So I'm probably gonna start streaming earlier. So 3 p.m. EST probably gonna be the time now. What's good, Evan? What's good? But yeah, let me start right here though. I talked about this already. I keep getting injured my right ankle. How do I heal and strengthen my ankle? I told y'all this already a lot of times. Contrast therapy and train single leg balance. Train your peroneals through single leg balance. You got to. That's a necessity. And also strengthen your calves. And then boom, down here, see I have a similar issue. Make sure you do exercises for legs as a whole. And if you have serious pain, make sure you buy one of those ankle protectors that tighten it. Honestly, I never bought no ankle sleeve, never bought no ankle brace, even though I was spraining my ankles like a motherfucker. I didn't want to do that because I still have a deficiency in my ankles, even if I get those braces, because that's what happens with a lot of people. Because that's the issue. Y'all got to understand this, right? A lot of y'all want to go and get ankle braces, want to go and get an ankle sleeve because you always roll your ankle. But you got to solve the problem of your ankle first before you even decide to think of getting an ankle brace, and actually go and strengthen your ankles. And then maybe once you strengthen your ankles and all the muscles that connect to it, like your calves and stuff, then you may not even need that brace. But a lot of y'all will revert to getting the brace, and you'll still have weak ankles. You'll probably still have weak calves. And ultimately, you're deficient in your game as a whole, because you're ignoring what needs to be addressed, which is the strength that relates to your ankle. So a lot of y'all need to remember that. That's the key. You're not actually dealing with the problem. Exactly. So I just dealt with the problem, and I realized I don't need no ankle brace, no ankle sleeve, no none of that. So let me go here though. Let me just go to jump shot. Let's check the jump shot tab. I done missed a lot of shit in here. He sent a 7-second clip. You already know what I'm gonna say about a 7-second clip. It's gonna be tough for me to say what's wrong and what should be done. Right. Misses are right and short. Sorry for not providing other angles. Oh yeah, I could tell why. Your elbow out. Your elbow out. Oh shit, your elbow out, gang. That shit. Hold on. Look at that. I can see your chest and see the ball while you're about to go up and shoot. I already know what's wrong. So just looking at it like this, that elbow, that shit pointed that way, other one pointed that way, like that shit. Come on, like lock in. Yeah. And then you probably flare it out that way too. Makes sense. All you gotta do, you gotta change the way you start and you pick up the ball. I would say you may even have to shift the ball from that midline of your body or that left side of your body, right? Shift it more away from this side and get it to this side. Shift that. And also your feet, your base. Change your base. Probably change your base. You get your shoulders not squared, but slightly tilted. And then your feet, don't get your feet all the way like this. Like your feet all the way out here. You know what I'm saying? Like I could see, like it's almost like you're facing this when you just turn your trunk. Like you just turned your cord a little bit. So, so I would say to angle out your base a little more towards the rim, but not all the way, right? Angle that, bring the ball up more from that right side, and then make sure that you could essentially still start with the ball here, but where you finish. You got to make sure that when you finish your shot, you don't flare your hand out this way and you finish it this way with your forearm, your hand, and your whole arm, even your upper arm as well, aligned with the rim. Extended in alignment with the rim. Don't go like this. Everything down. Hand to the cookie jar. So, get that done. That's probably why you're missing so many shots. I'm probably going to add everybody and be like, I peeped everything in this jump shot tab or some shit like that. He said there's two things. If it's short, you might need to move back. Second, lower your arc and try to push forward. Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. So swing and a miss. Swing and a miss, gang. Swing and a miss on that one. But he said right here. What did he say? Okay, he just added. Let's see. But he's shooting in a collared shirt. I don't remember last time I shot a basketball in a collared shirt. Oh shit! Damn. Oh shit. But he said that up one time. He said, "Fuck no." It's exactly how this is down here on this side, right? And so I ain't gonna lie. You should have just set this on the floor, gang. If you had a water bottle or something, you could have put this on the floor. You took us for a ride. Oh shit. You shouldn't have put this shit on the pad, bro. You should just put it on the ground. Just angle it up or have a water bottle, set that shit up. That's all you need to do. But let me say this as well. This is going to be a gem for y'all. When y'all work out, right? When you shoot, do not roll the ball in front of you every single time you shoot. You should be rolling it to the side and catching it from outside of your pocket, like you're actually going to get a pass in the game. That's a gem. If there's any gem in this stream that's going to help you translate what you do to an actual game, that's one of them. That's one of the ones. But yeah, it's hard for me to even identify what could be wrong because I only see one miss, and I don't want to judge a plethora of shots that you shoot on a day-to-day basis off of one shot that you missed. That would be a fault of mine. But yeah, what's wrong with the jumper? How can I improve? Damn, gang, it seems like you need some water. Let's speak though. I need to see you shoot. I need to see you actually. I need to see the result of the shot. Look, let me tell y'all this too. It's not about how the shot looks. It's about what the shot does. I can have the ugliest jumper in the world. I can shoot like Michael Kidd Gilchrist, right? A lot of y'all don't understand. I can shoot like Michael Kidd Gilchrist, right? I can shoot like Michael Kidd Gilchrist. And if that shit ends up going in, I ain't gonna change my jumper because that shit going in. And if I'm able to also get it off and it's going in, oh, I ain't changing shit, right? I ain't changing shit. So if you're asking me to review a jump shot, don't just send how the form looks, send the result, because that's all that matters. Doesn't matter how pretty of a jump shot you have. It doesn't matter how aesthetically pleasing of a jump shot you have. It only matters where the ball goes, and if you're able to do that against real live competition. So you sending your jump shot, send those shots, send a bunch of shots where you're actually shooting to the rim, and so I can actually see the result of the shot in itself. So boom. And a lot of y'all probably do aspire to have a good looking jumper like Devin Booker or Zach LaVine or something. But for me to say, look at the form, and especially not shooting the ball to the rim, you can't uncover all that's going wrong. You need to actually shoot. And you're out of court, it seems like. So go actually shoot on the rim and record that. You talking about this, some of your wrist changing. You can't even worry about this because, like I said, it's the result, man. It's the result. No message, just a shot. Oh, got a lot going on right there. Got a lot going on. First and foremost, I know I tell y'all I got to see a lot of shots, but sometimes I can tell a lot when I see a shot for one time. And this right here, that's a tough one right there. I don't know if I've seen this before. Yeah, I don't know if I've seen that one before. So first and foremost, that release point. That's a push shot, first and foremost. That shooting, understand this, right? Shooting from this low in your pocket means that you're just not strong enough to shoot from that far, which is why a lot of y'all got to decide to go and take steps in closer to the rim so you can actually establish a good shot and build muscle memory, right? Because you're shooting from all the way out here at the three-point line, you're not strong enough for the three-point line. You see Steph and all these dudes shooting, but I don't think you see all the time someone like Steph is spent shooting right in front of the rim. He's probably gotten more form shots up than he has three-pointers in his entire life. And that's what y'all don't understand, right? A lot of y'all get shit twisted, right? Stephen Curry has probably shot more form shots in his entire life than he has shot threes. I ain't gonna lie, he probably has, because when you go back to when he was younger, you add up all the summers of just shooting pure form, all the days to which now he's still shooting form shots before a workout. He's probably shot more, just as much, or in the same vicinity amount as form shots as he has threes, right? And you got to even understand where those came from. Like, at what point in time did he get all those form shots? When he started. And then once he started, he built that base, and then he continued to go further and further back. And now if we're talking about mid-range shots, if we're combining form shots and mid-range shots, those already surpass threes. Mid-range, he's probably shot more mid-ranges than damn near as many mid-range shots as he has threes, because you need to learn how to shoot from inside the arc before you step outside. So y'all got to really understand that. Where was I in the chat? Steph jumper so fluid, I need it. You don't need Steph jumper, you need your own jumper. You need to find a jumper that is just as fluid for you like it is for Steph in his own. I just want to stream because I mentioned in your breakdown deep basketball stuff. I play soccer in Europe, and some of your tips helped me in football for real. Because a lot of people, hey, Benji, appreciate the support though, but a lot of people don't realize you could learn about your sport by watching another sport. Like, I could watch football and get better at, like, American football, right? You don't get the shit confused, because if you're overseas, you're gonna think, oh, football, soccer. But if I'm watching American football, I can learn how to get better at backdoors and cuts, because I need to utilize a swim move and utilize pace and little step outs and shit like that. Same thing with soccer, with y'all's football, right? Learning how to utilize footwork and utilize positioning and angles to get from A to B. So a lot of shit really does transfer in sports, but a lot of people don't see it that way. Going to McDonald's, see you later. I pray for your belly. I pray for your belly. I pray for your mind. Pray for your digestive system. You know what I'm saying? I pray for everything if you're going to McDonald's, man. I pray for you, Z. I pray for you, Z. What do you think the best time to pick up the ball on the drive is? It depends on the drive in itself, first and foremost. It depends on the drive in itself. We're in an ISO situation on the drive and a lane opens up. What are the signals which tell you? It's not necessarily a signal. It's like shit happens and you react to it. Shit happens, you react to it. Like if I don't need to pick my dribble up, I may not even pick my dribble up until I need to. But Evan, you probably just need to go play more. You need to go play more because you're asking questions that you're trying to get too conscious of, and you don't realize the fact that you're not supposed to be that conscious of it when you do it. You just need to have the simple capacity of being able to pick the ball up in that manner and not necessarily be worried so much about what situation it is that you're going to have to pick the ball up in and what specific thing to read, because there's too many things for you to try to sit there and worry about the one thing you do on this drive in itself. Steph lifting 70-pound dumbbells, dig a dumb strong. Lifting 70-pound dumbbells doing what is the real question. Because I could do a rear foot elevated split squat with 95, 100-pound dumbbells on an isometric. Or I could do it for reps. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it depends on what you're doing it for. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people don't realize when you got strength in the right spots, you'll look a lot stronger than you look. Or you'll be a lot stronger than you look. Translates definitely, Saga definitely, and because you started to think like the attacker when I'm on D. Hey man, if this is helping a lot, hey, by any means don't stop it. By any means don't stop it. If there are people who did what I did for different sports, that should be fine. That should be fine. Am I athletically gifted? How tall am I? I'm not athletically gifted. I got my own vert up from a 33, probably like around 33. 32 to 40 that I'm at right now. I'm at like a 40 right now. I low-key built my own little program on the side. Whenever it's time to drop that program, I'm gonna drop the program. But for the time being, just flow. You know what I'm saying? Just rock with it. You know what I'm saying? Just know I got it, but it just has to be the time. It has to be the right time for that program to drop. And by the way, I'm tall. I'm about 6, maybe Bronny like 6'1". I never seen Bronny, but I may fuck around and be 6 foot. I may fuck around and be 6 foot flat, no shoes. In shoes, I'm probably like 6'1", 6'2". So, you have a contact with the thumb and index finger, index and middle finger after you take the shot. I ain't gonna lie, I do not know what fingers is contact, nigga. I just know, bucket. I ain't gonna lie, I don't know that much. You have merch? I had merch. I had merch up for a little bit. It's no longer up. But I'll tell you this, I may be working on some deals with some brands that y'all are very, very familiar with. And so it's going to be some really high quality stuff. So I'm just to tell you that right now. It's going to be some basketball brand, a basketball brand you might be very, very familiar with. We're going to see how it turns out. A couple at that. Let me just say that. Y'all may see me on stream pull up. And when you see this start to change and look very, very consistent, just know something going on. Because I have found a death announcer who consistently posts. I'm still looking for my sport. Hey, I don't know if that shit gonna happen. Like, you see me doing what I do for basketball, but for any other sport, shit, that's gonna be tough. It requires a lot. But let me get back to his jumper. First things first, like I said, Buddy need to start shooting from closer in because you can't be shooting from this low, especially if you want to do this shit in a real game. So you need to start getting closer in, start shooting like shots underneath the rim so you can get a good form. That's going to actually work against defense. And then once you just get there, work on the high release point, let me see how that looks and then send more stuff. And then you can work in steps. At there. My coach said my shot is weird, but he can't put his finger on it. Okay, I remember someone said this. I remember seeing this message. Oh, you got that NBA Live jumper. Like, you got the NBA Jam jumper. You know? You know what I'm saying? You got the NBA Jam jumper. Y'all play NBA Jam? Y'all play NBA Jam? Hold on. I don't know if y'all played NBA Jam before, bro. Y'all may be too young. I don't know if y'all play NBA Jam. Hold on. Let me see. Let me see if I can find it. Hold on. Look, hold on. Let me find it. We got the NBA Jam jumper. Hold on, I told you. Y'all ever play NBA Jam? I told y'all. I asked y'all had to play NBA Jam, bro. This shit used to be the shit, though. This used to be the shit. That shit was dumb foul. And it's low-key might be foul to this day. Goaltending. But look, he got the NBA Jam jumper. I don't know how you build that type of jump shot, though. I don't know how that gets built. But I know what he's talking about when he says something looks off. It's the fluidity. I'll probably say it's the fluidity. And I would also say your jumper would probably even look better, right? Your jumper would probably look better if you started your jump shot always low. Instead of having to rise from being high in the base, the ball already being in your hands and dipping down and going up. If you decided to conserve your own energy, catch low, and only go up into your shot, follow through, boom, it'll probably be 10 times better. And this shit always turning off. How does shit always dying? I didn't think that shit would die. But yeah, start low. I would say start low. And then it could just be smooth, fluid, everything going up. And then if you adjust that, let me know how that looks like. I'm curious how it look like. Cause especially on this, like you catching high and you dipping and doing all that other stuff. Start low in the base, right? Meaning, let me see if you ever get into, start here. I want you to be this low every single time you catch and shoot. And also this too. Ooh, I figured it out. Oh, damn. I figured it out. I'm like, it just feels like I put my finger on it. You say your coach couldn't put your finger, I put my finger on it. Look at your hand. Look at your wrist. Load your wrist this way. Like when you catch, you probably round right here in terms of hand angle, right? But you probably like round right here, right? Load it. You got to get here. You got to load it. So then you can get your hand underneath the ball and you can actually shoot and you can actually follow through. A lot of people don't even realize that. But if you don't load your wrist underneath the ball so you could get here and boom, get up and get into a shot, it's going to look very awkward. It's probably going to look like this. To where it's just here and just pushing it out. You know what I'm saying? But if you get your wrist loaded, you can get it here and then it's boom. It actually looks normal. So like I'm here taking a shot, boom. Instead of sitting here like, you know what I'm saying? That shit look weird. That shit look awkward. Hopefully that kind of makes sense. But load your wrist. Load your wrist and start low. Two things. Load your wrist and start low. Load your wrist and start low. Tyrese Halliburton ad form shot. I would say, hey, the thing is Tyrese Halliburton, that shit go in. And that shit right there was a 2. NBA Jam done, my brother, shit was lit. No cap. No cap. Where did you get the what is that poster? If I zoom in on that, like I don't think y'all, I'm gonna remake that shit, right? I'm gonna remake it, but there's a whole bunch of little quotes and a whole bunch of little quotables and shit. And like lifestyle mentality stuff, like within, like you see the outline of the words, like and how it's shaped in the background, not the middle, but just over on the background. If you see how that is shaped out, that's all words that's now shaping the word. Like it's all little quotables that are shaping the word. It has to deal with mentality and all that other stuff. And I literally handmade it off of like Canva, then got it printed on a canvas poster, and I got that shit in my room. So that's an OG logo, you know what I'm saying? OG design. So I have that sitting up there. The Kobe one, I forgot where I even got that from, and the Cole one, I forgot what I got that from. It's just Google, bro. Google. See you on Wednesday. All right, though. I'll catch you. But I'm pretty sure that's everything for jump shot. I'm pretty sure that's everything in the jump shot section. But they asked a couple questions here. Should my shooting shoulder be popping out forward or not? I don't know. Are you making shots? That's the question. Are you making shots? Are your shots going in the rim? If your shots are going in the rim, don't even worry too much about it. And then if it's not going in the rim, is that even the problem? That's the real question. You got to always think about the result. What's stopping you from getting the result, and change exactly that. Change exactly that. It's like if you have a test, and say you're taking an algebra test, and you're working on I can't remember no algebra topics. Say you have an algebra test, and there's one topic within there that you do really good, and then another two that you do solid, and another one you do bad. You got to work on what you're doing bad, so then you could be able to actually improve your overall score and get exactly what you want. You're not going to go and work on what you're already good at just so you could try to improve it a little more, but it's not going to bring that result and that overall grade higher into the level that you want. So hopefully that was a solid analogy. You all can understand that. When you about to push your legs, up to shoot, do you have that form, or having your knees slightly bent, or no contact at all? You talking about knee valgus? It just depends on you. This is something as to which could hurt some people, but if you shoot like that naturally, you probably built up the strength to shoot that way, where your knees kind of cave in. And I do it a little bit. I do it sometimes myself, so it's hard for me to even say like, don't do that. But the way I shoot, I've gotten used to it, and I've seen people shoot way worse in terms of that knock knee, that knee valgus shit. But I would say. If you could correct it, try to, but don't try to spend a bunch of time on it if it's already just something supernatural. And if you already have some shit going on up here that's wrong, worry about that instead of worrying about the base. The base is wrong, like your balance is off, then you probably need to change it. So, yeah, I just went through the jump shot tab. We need to get to this SGA breakdown, though. SGA breakdown. SGA time. SGA time. SGA time. SGA time. It is SGA time, man. Let's get to SGA. And mind you, this is straight SGA buckets. This is straight SGA buckets for y'all today, all right? Understand, this is straight SGA buckets. All his buckets. Even some of his misses, too. Nothing else, nothing but Shai. 7 minutes straight. 7 minutes of clips, all Shai. So, let me get this posted. Let me go here. And then after go here. What the fuck? I just seen someone with a fucking broken arm or some shit. But let me get this posted, though. We about to get to these buckets. Let me actually redo that right quick. Let me go here. There we go. Let's get that. Bro, why is this shit not working? This shit bugging. Alright, boom, we got that. There we go here. Boom, 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 boom. And then from here, we gonna go there. From there, we gonna go with that, then that. And then we gonna click on that and make sure we get that over here. And after we go here, we gonna make sure we click that and get that. And then we gonna put that right there. And then right there, we gonna make sure we add this in before we finish. And after we add that in, then we're gonna go with that just to touch it up a little bit. Actually, let's redo that right quick. Let's redo that. So we're gonna go with that right there, then that, and that. And then we're gonna go with that right there. Okay, we locked in. Boom. And then we posted. You know what I've come to realize in these past few days? There's nothing better than an epiphany. There's nothing better than an epiphany, bro. Oh my gosh, there's nothing better than an epiphany. Glute strength is what creates knee valgus, I heard. I'm not sure. I'm not really sure about the anatomy. I'll have to research that. I may have to look into that. I shoot different threes in game for my workouts, and I shoot better in games. I mean, that's what games are gonna be though. But it's good, Danny. That's how games are gonna be though. You're gonna shoot like you're not gonna be able to shoot the same shot. Your shots are gonna vary, and you may be a person who just operates better with chaos. Like when you don't have to think about the shot, and maybe when you're working out, when you work out, you think too much of shooting instead of just doing it. So that's what I used to do. I used to think too much about my form in shooting instead of just shooting the ball, and then figuring out what's wrong when I just naturally shoot, then just adjust accordingly. How many monitors you got, bro? You be looking at 3 different ones? No, I don't. I be looking at the monitor right here, and I be looking at a monitor right here. I just got my chat right here that I'm looking at. I don't look at my full monitor on my left. I just got 2. Only got 2. Then I got my camera right here. The camera's in the middle of both monitors. So, and then my phone. You know, sometimes I just be looking off into the distance. Like I'll just look off like this sometimes, like just to get my thought for a second, and I'll come back for a second. You know what I'm saying? I just got to get my thoughts together. Do you know off the dome benefits of basketball for soccer players or in general? The physical aspects of basketball that help for general athleticism. Okay, you said like off the dome, like I was thinking you said off the dome as in like a header in soccer or some shit, but you said benefits of basketball for soccer players or in general. I could definitely say this is the coordination aspect of it. And also the movement and the footwork, because all sports require a different style of movement and footwork and coordination. And so if you expose yourself to those sports, it can improve you when you go back to your main sport. So I even tell people who hoop, go play soccer, go play American football, do those drills. Don't actually play. You don't got to get fucking roughed up or some shit. But go do the like practice of it and like play it to an extent only to help you with what you mainly do. So like just playing pickup basketball or some shit, or doing a basketball workout, or going to do a soccer workout or football workout, American football workout, let me say. Those things could definitely help. So as well, it could improve the agility, the vertical aspect of it. And if you train more directly in certain things, like a basketball player is going to train vert more specific than a soccer player probably would train vert. At least like from my standpoint, my perspective as a coach and trainer. How I would do it. I'll train it more so than a sport like soccer. Then maybe getting those type of trainers could help you in that aspect if you need it. So, trust shots you put in the practice guaranteed. Oh yeah. Get out your head a little bit. Get out your head in your workouts. Today I started at 3:30. I'm really gonna start at 3. I'm really gonna start at 3, Leo. I'm really gonna start at 3. So, epiphany or something. Epiphany, EPIPHANY. It's just like a realization. Like it's just a grand, like a very important realization. Where it's just like, oh shit, that is that, or that means that, or I should start doing this instead of that. Like those are the ones that get my gears going. Like when in my day when I'm like, oh shit. And I make that connection between these concepts or this certain thing I got to do when it comes to content or some shit like that. Those be the ones that get me going every single day. And that only happens when you think. When you start thinking, that's the only time you can get there. That's the only time you can get there. And let me also post this in the Discord. Breakdown starting now. Let me go here. Let me put that in here. Let me boom. And then get here. Now I'll go there. And I'm gonna drop that right there in the chat section. Pat teaching y'all English. Pat for president. I'll never run for president in my life. That's one thing I can tell you I'll never do. I don't get into politics. That's wild as fuck. Do things like fall in the ball with your eyes when you shoot, especially if you start getting super conscious. Read books that break down the mental aspect of sports too. I would say it also does require a level of neuroplasticity, mental capacity to read books that talk about the mental aspect, so you know how to apply those things without thinking about it too much. So like the inner game of tennis is one of those things I read and I'm like, this shit was deep, right? It was a very deep book of talking about the mental aspect of the game. But I know if I were to read that book earlier, like while I was still playing, it would have fucked me up because I didn't have the mental necessary to apply those things. So, how long you been hooping for? Competitively, like actually like playing to understand organized competition since 8th grade. So like 2016-ish, 2016. So, but now it's time to lock in. Now it's time to lock in. I got to get my binaural beat going. I got to get the binaural beat. You know what I'm saying? I got to get the 40 hertz. Got to get the 40 hertz in. Put that in the background. Somebody thought this was a noise suppression I need for this. Nah, it's a binaural beat, gang. It's a binaural beat. Binaural beat, 40 hertz. If y'all need to study, or if y'all about to study, if y'all about to do some homework, y'all need to focus, do something like that, binaural beats. You know what I'm saying? Go get that 40 to 44 hertz. I think the best is like the gamma frequency, which is like between 30 and 50, but I'll say go with 40 because that's in terms of research, that helps best with focus and concentration, retention of knowledge and information because of the focus and the concentration you're able to have. So if you need it, 40 hertz, go 40 hertz. I started carrying on and not quit because quit next week. I just start training with a UA team, but I'm still unavailable, so they will kick me out of the club. Wait, so what you mean? They gonna kick you out because you're not good enough? Is what you're saying? And I look, we gotta get this shit started. We've been at stream for an hour, 12 minutes on the dot just now. But let me make sure. He said I decided to carry on, not quit. I should start. So he's gonna kick you out of the club. So that's what you're saying. You're not good enough right now, so you may get kicked out. So you have to try out again later in the future, type shit. So we gotta get locked in. Though. We gotta get locked in. I gotta talk about this first play, bro. I'm excited for this breakdown. And by the way, like I said, this is pure Shai. I ain't throwing like one bucket from Kyrie, a bucket from Jalen Williams, a bucket from Chet. This is all like oriented towards what SGA is doing himself. So, and you're about to see some crazy shit. Like you're gonna go through, see this entire breakdown, and you're gonna realize Shai does one thing every fucking time he drives. And you're gonna probably think, oh no, it's just one, it's just two, it's three, it's 4, 5, 6. It's gonna keep going. You're gonna be like, that's why the fuck he gets to his spots. That's why the fuck he gets to his spots. So let me get some more water right quick. So first, I got to talk about this first play of the game. And this is not where that concept starts. So understand, right? This is the first offensive possession that the Thunder had this game, right? Or no, this is the second, right? This is the second play of the game. So this is the second play OKC had of the game. This is 36 seconds in. Watch the shot Shai's about to take, right? He takes this shot, 3 from the corner. He shoots it. He misses it. And at that point, Shai said, fuck that. I'm not shooting no more threes because while y'all want to play like Steph and Clay, and shoot all these threes because of statistics, I'ma do me. Since Shai always does him, that's why he's him. And in this breakdown, you're gonna see he does the same shit every time he goes, and that's why the mid-range game is not dead. It's very much alive. And Shai, he just abuses it and he spams it. So, peep it. We about to lock in. This is where it's really gonna get going. This first play here, I gotta layer this one. Gotta layer this one. So peep, right? So notice, look. So watch Mark Daigneault, right? He calls out a play. And now J-Dub, he cuts. He calls out the play so Aaron Wiggins could step up from that right side, right? I want you to pay attention to the sides. Not even about what they're kind of doing. I want you to pay attention to the direction everything is going on, right? So pay attention. So notice Mark Daigneault, right? He makes a play call. J-Dub, he cuts out from that left side of the floor. and he called up Aaron Wiggins from the right side of the floor. Now watch Josh Green. He's going to stunt to Shai's left side, and now Shai goes to attack left because J-Dub has cleared out this left wing, so now Shai could get to what he wants with the one person in the corner. They not helping strong side corners. And now once he gets here, he's like, oh, damn, I got Derek Lively, no problem. I can't get to the rim. I'm just going to stay in the midi, pump fake, and shoot while you come down so I get no contest. Notice he decided to go and attack the way J-Dub cut through. 1. And now here too. Pete this with Exum. Pete this with Exum. Oh my gosh, this is insane. I'm gonna start a counter. Make sure y'all keep count with me on this. Y'all keep count, right? Y'all need to keep count when it comes down to the direction Shai is going with this one skill, right? So now he gets a switch on to Josh Green. And now Isaiah Joe cuts from that right side of the floor. And now what does Shai decide to go do? He attacks the same way the cut came from. But peep, Dante Exum, he wasn't being a dummy defender. He stays here at the elbow. So what Shai does, I bump. Instead of sidestepping or pulling up, I spin back into space. Boom, I get that fade. Second time Shai has decided to go and attack the same direction someone has cut from. And now this play here, this play's tough. This play tough. I want you to understand. This is a possession where it's not so much about the direction, it's about the spacing of the floor. So now SGA gets his primary defender off of him, and Josh Green, he's got Kyrie. He switched up, makes him lose a rock, but he maintains composure. And now you got to assess the spacing of the floor at this point in time, right? So if you want to play like Shai, you got to understand what he sees. I got J-Dub in his right corner with Derrick Jones Jr. That means if I go right, they're probably going to help strong side, and I'm going to have to kick it to J-Dub, and he's not that great of a three-point shooter. But on this left side, even though I got two teammates, I got Isaiah Joe. Isaiah Joe, he'll shoot that thing 50% when he's wide open. So what's going to be the game plan? What's the scouting report for that, right? When he goes left, they not going to really help. And so now I'm able to get in between that gap. And once I even do get into that gap, I make sure that once I'm on that left side, I make sure I get back to that right side and get through Kyrie, make all that space, pump fake, and I bring myself to the free throw line and build my rhythm also that way. Got to understand spacing if you want to understand where you got to drive. And I'll transition. I want y'all to understand this concept about transition too. Not three. It's not three quite yet. The cut came from the right side. So pay attention, right? So anytime you're playing in transition, you'll never know what gaps you have until you can see everybody in front of you. And watch what Shai does, right? He brings it down to the middle of the floor. Everybody gets in front of him. J-Dub cuts off that right side. And guess where Shai goes? To that right side because I have space there. A cut occurred and make that number 3. That's a third drive. And now if you just want to see this in Shai's perspective, you seen Luka Loki get mad. He's like, damn, I fell for it. He like, hey, hold on, Luka fell for it, right? He ends up getting J-Dub. He turns his back. He turns again. He's like, oh, shit, he drove this way. And he's like, oh, shit. Damn it. Look, watch it. He's about to get mad. But Pete, this as well. If you just want to see what Shai sees, empty elbow, empty wing, I just got a corner. I attack PJ Washington, open up his base. I get to my stop, pull up right there and then. Give me that bucket. That's the third time. Now notice this. Dante Exum as well. So I want to talk about the move in itself. He's not going to get a bucket off of this, but I want to talk about the move, right? Because this is something he just does so frequently, it's ridiculous. Like, right? This is one of SGA's signature moves, and it's only really to do one thing, right? Because he's got Isaiah Joe on that left, empty right wing. It's this cross step into a hezzy, so then you can step up and he can attack that right side, right? You see him do it one time right there. But notice, even when he does want to get back to that right side, he's going to continue the pattern after that, right? So notice, one of SGA's signature moves right here, just so he can be able to get to his space on the right side of the floor, right? Notice. Cross step on Luka, hezzy, get to that right side, I attack, and I kick to Lou Dort. But the most important thing about this play is not that move right there, what happens after. Offensive rebound by SGA, right? Offensive rebound. He ends up bringing the ball right back. Lou Dort on the cut. He cuts through the middle on the left side of Shai. Tim Hardaway Jr. steps up. I go and attack that left side. Bump, nudge, get back into my midi, bucket. Make that number 4. The 4th time he's attacked the same direction of the cut. And this is the second quarter. Now, playing smart with IQ. Peep this. So, look at Shai. He's just staring down the shot clock, waiting until 10. So that now you could get into this action timely and use as much time you have so you could be able to then preserve possessions, right? So understand. Now, also want to talk about this being the end of a quarter because this is going to be important for later. I don't even want to talk about just a shot clock, all right? So understand. So you got SGA on this right elbow and you got J-Dub at the top. Notice what the action they're about to run. SGA is just waiting until 10. And he's going to step up from the elbow so he could get a switch from J-Dub's defender, right? Now he's got PJ Washington. And now pay attention to this. When he gets this catch, you got to assess the floor. And now going to this left side, I got Chet, a shooter, but most importantly, strong side corner. So I'm not going to see Kyrie for real. He's playing with his hands on his knees. And now once I get there, the real help is Derek Lively. So I'm not going to go to the rim. These next steps and dribbles going to be taken to that baseline so I can fade away. And I'm going to get 34 without layups as well. Just pure middies. It's tough. Now peep this. I told y'all it's going to be pure middies. It's going to be pure middies. But when does Shai even attack the rim? That becomes a real question, right? And so you got to also understand that even being someone of Shai's skill caliber, when you want to actually go and finish at the rim and not have to pull it for middies, it boils down to this one thing. He gets a closeout from Gafford, rim protectors out of the paint. He's no longer protecting the rim. And so when he gets here, he's going to actually try to get to his lay. Even though he smoked it, continue to notice the habit, right? Continue to understand the habit. Missed shot right there by Derrick Jones Jr., rebound right there by Shai, Gafford behind the play. So you already know where Shai's going to go. No need to stop at the three-point line. No need to stop at the midi. I got all these smaller guards trying to stop me. He has nothing to do but to foul. Second time right there and then. Now I want y'all to also notice this play. Gafford in transition. I don't know what the fuck that was, but you missed it. Out in transition, you're behind the play. So Shai's mentality, no rim protector. I'm just going to continuously attack the rim and get there before the rim protector can so I can get the easiest look possible, which is a layup. Y'all should not be trying to stop short for a midi just to stop short for a midi because you like it. You should only stop there for a purpose when the layup is taken away. And so you're literally seeing right there and then the rim protector gone, I get my lays. I attack the rim. So that's important to understand, especially as a guard. Shai has a series of plays and movements that he just uses perfectly. You got to even understand this too. I want to talk about this. This is also like a move you said uses perfectly. You need it. But peep this as well. You said my mic was low. It should be straight. I literally keep the same settings on for every single stream. But pay attention from start to bottom on this play. From start to bottom. So Shai gets this catch right here towards half court. Now peep Derrick Jones Jr. Since he gets into a skip, he jumps out anticipating the screen. And now it was just Shai versus Gafford in this position. Just Shai versus Gafford. And when you get into these side steps, the most important step to that side step is going to be that third to last step. But pay attention, right? Because this step right here, it now forces Gafford's foot to go in that direction, which is pointed towards the rim, thinking that he's going to go there, and Gafford can't realize that he's not going there until he gets out into space. So he keeps going back. Shai goes to the side, and he's able to get that fade over the top and have just enough space. Bucket. That third to last step is the most important. Third to last. And oh my gosh, this is about to be a display. This is about to be ridiculous. But I want you to notice this as well. This bucket is dummy tough. So I'm gonna go full speed to start. Right? I'm gonna go full speed. You got to add phase? Do you need to add phase is the real question. Do you need to? All right, so pay attention, right? Now notice this. When Shai gets into this floater, you see 3 defenders within a 5-foot vicinity, but he really only sees 1 defender. You gotta understand. Let me slow this down. Because understand, at this point in time, he's got J-Dub in that left corner. Kyrie, strong side corner, he's not helping off of J-Dub. Take away that. That leaves 2. Now, when I attack Luka, hit him with that bump, now you're off balance. You're not going to really be able to contest. Cut that down to 1. And now I just have to worry about getting this over PJ Washington. And I do that all the time in my drills with them little foam pads and shit. Every single time I do it. So that was just 1 defender I really had to worry about. Because before I even got into the shot, I did all the work I needed to do on the ground with Luka and reading Kyrie. Now peep this here with Lively. As well. So, what number we at? We at 4? We at 4, right? So notice this. Josh Green. Peep this from the start. Josh Green is the most important part too. So, Josh Green jumps that screen here. He pulls in Derek Lively, forces that switch by giving it up to Chet. And now SGA gets the ball with the matchup with Derek Lively. Now you got J-Dub on this right side. You got Chet on that left side. 2 players with gravity. But where is Shai always going to attack? Right? Notice what happens. J-Dub, he cuts. And PJ Washington stays on the elbow, though. He stays on the elbow. Shai still just attacks that same direction. Make that 5. Drop it down to J-Dub. And now he does get blocked. But understand the habit of where he's going. Make that number 5. Now notice this. This is why positioning is vital. It's the little things that you do as a defender that's extremely important, that will hurt you if you don't know how to guard in the right positioning. So pay attention. I really want you to pay attention to Luka. So off this kick out right here, right? Pay attention to when Luka picks up on SGA. He gets this catch and is working himself up. Isaiah Joe on that cut through as well from that top, right? And so now when Luka decides to pick up on Shai, what he does, he steps out and tries to beat him uphill. But since Shai gets so low, he's able to get through that hip, turn the corner, and now go downhill. So now Luka has to open all the way up, and he stops short because I see Lively get to my floater. Make that number 6. Isaiah Joe did cut. Or did he cut and get back through? He canceled that cut. That's like 5.5, but fuck it. We made that 6. I'm gonna apply this tomorrow to practice. Hold on. You gotta understand. We're not done. So now SGA's got PJ Washington. Slip out right there by Chet. Switch with Josh Green. Now watch what PJ Washington does and what SGA is looking at, right? And since PJ Washington switched on to Chet, he turns back, he leaves, and then boom, Shai decides to get into that spin, into that fade, boom, get that bucket, right? That's 7. But there's something else about this play I want to talk about, right? It's going to layer with the next few. So when SGA gets to switch on to Josh Green, right? The move he's going to use is going to be because PJ Washington and his attack going left, right? But he ends up deciding to use this spin move, bump into a fade, and that shot ends up going in, right? And so the next time he ends up getting Josh Green, when he's in an isolation situation, what is he going to try to do, knowing that the shit I did before worked, right? He's attacking. I bump into a spin. Oh, shit, he sat on that. I don't got to fade. But this is what makes SGA so smart and these elite scorers so smart, is that when they do mess up within the course of a play, they're able to go within that same play, make the adjustment in terms of how they're able to distribute contact, and then he gets into his fade. He missed it. High quality look, though. So he was literally able to adjust it all on the fly. He said, this spin not going to work? All right, let me hit you with a different style of contact instead of doing the same shit I was doing before. I just got a sub. Hey, I appreciate that sub. But also, hold on. Did I even not count this one? Hold on. Am I tripping? I might have been tripping. I might have forgot one more. I might have forgot one more. I'm bugging. We was at what, 7? We had 7 on the counter? We had 7 on the counter. I got to go back for the play. I got to go back for this play, man. You got to go back for this play. I just realized, how do I slip up on a play like this? Aaron Wiggins cuts out from that right. He slips out. SGA goes right, attacks, and then gets into that sidestep because he got room on that elbow. He missed it. Make it 8. Make it 8. I'm bugging. We had 6, so that was 7. I'll make sure I keep it at 7 though. Fuck it. Yeah. The Isaiah Joe one made it like 6. So, yeah, here though. I want you to also pay attention to the timing. So remember. So remember at the end of the second quarter, what action did OKC run so that they could be able to get into these isolations with SGA? This little elbow where he gets to switch on the J-Dub's defender, and now he got Josh Green, right? He gets this catch. And y'all think Shai only got handles. You think he only smooth. But Shai don't really need a dribble, right? He's also got this, the most important fundamental layer to basketball, that triple threat with that jab, because that creates space while preserving the most amount of energy so you could get a jumper off. Y'all need that jab. Y'all need that triple threat game. Same thing once again. I want y'all to peep this. This is a play. This is one hell of a play. I ain't gonna lie. This is one hell of a play. So notice, right? SGA gets to switch on to PJ Washington. When SGA catches and looks over PJ Washington's shoulder, he sees Gafford guarding Giddey, who's cutting along that baseline. So this tells SGA, all right, if I decide to go dribble and spin, by the time I get into the paint, Gafford's gonna stay there while Giddey continues to cut. And so by keeping him there, Kyrie can't see Giddey. I kick straight to Giddey to Wallace, and Wallace gets that 3 on the wing. He's looking beyond the person he's guarding and making moves according to the help. That's what makes an elite player. An elite shot creator, elite scorer, elite hooper, bro. That's an elite hooper. That's what it is, elite hooper. That's just tough. Way crawling for Pokemon, am I bugging? I low-key thought he looked more like a Donald Duck. Or am I bugging? But peep this as well. We keep this shit going. So we at what, 7? We at 7? We at 7 now. I don't know if you've seen that last one, but now we got Shai with PJ Washington. And so he ends up going right, switch on to Luka. PJ Washington got Kenrich Williams. Where are you going to go? You going to sit here and play at the elbow, or are you going to cut through? You cut through is exactly when I decided to go slip by and attack left, because that's where I have a double gap between me and my next teammate, despite the miss, high quality look. That's number 8. Now you got J-Dub. Hold on. This is about to be a hell of a sequence. Despite the switch and despite all that's going on. So you got SGA with this drag screen from J-Dub. You flip it, Varejao out screen right there to the pop. Derrick Jones Jr. on J-Dub. Pump fake, he attacks, but now I give it up to SGA. I gotta assess the spacing. I got J-Dub on that left side. Is he gonna stay at that elbow? Because what it really boils down to, Shai, is what elbow is free? What side of the floor can I get to that elbow area that has space? And that's what those cuts open up, right? And so right now, we at 8. He ends up cutting through. I can now get to his left side, slip right by, boom, float. Make that 9. Get another bucket. Peep Derrick Jones Jr. So notice, at the start, now Shai's got Derrick Jones Jr. Screen going right, I got Kyrie. I just got to read that screen. What is Derrick Jones Jr. going to do? He ends up standing at the free throw line area for a second, right? So this is going to slow him down just a little bit. Slows him down. And so now what ends up occurring, all right, I got to slow down my attack. Wait for him to clear out. And now I decide to go and make that go move, get to my step back into space, boom, left. That's 10. Or 9. I'm not sure if that's 10 or 9. Loki be fucking losing count. While I be shifting my focus from this and trying to keep count of that. Let me know if that was 10 or 9. so I can low-key get this shit back corrected. And I want to talk about these sideline attacks. I want to talk about these sideline attacks. These sideline attacks. This is also another thing that's just a commonality in Shai's game. Like, you're going to see him do this shit like every time down. Also, I want to say this too, right? I want to say this. That this spacing, the attack and the spacing is going to work, but you also got to know what type of moves work for you. Because you can't get the same way that Shai does with his body and his frame and his physique and all that. So, it's 9? Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's 9. I think I skipped a number. I felt like I skipped a number. Something told me, I was like, yo, I think you're bugging. Right? So, peep this. Let me go back so we can start the play from the top. So, when Shai now ends up attacking in transition, particularly along these baselines, he's always going to go baseline because really, you got Chet in this corner, strong side help. You gonna pinch in? You're probably not most times. I dropped that off, right? But understand that hard attack going to that right side when he is on that sideline. And now, notice off the spot up, just basic play. Catch, trigger step, going left, get into that fade. But I want to go back to that sideline concept. He was along that right side, right? He was along that right side. Now he's ended up getting to his left side. And I get a screen coming up from that corner. And so I got an empty corner. Now I could actually go and turn that corner with a lot of room. Despite the fact I picked up my dribble in a terrible spot. Terrible spot. I now got to utilize my body to create angles. Notice, little step in, nudge with that right, fade behind the backboard or to the side, bucket. That's tough. That's a tough bucket. Utilizing your body to create space even when the dribble is dead. That's tough. That's tough. That's tough. And now let's go back to the other side of the floor though. That right sideline, right? Understand the spacing of the floor at this point in time as well. Empty corner, everything's to my left. Where could I have space if I want to do something? On this right, but great defense, PJ. Solid defense, PJ. But you stopped me once, let's see if you can stop me twice. I got to give that up to Chet, but I ended up getting it right back. And so, watch Shai, right? Pay attention. Look, pay attention, pay attention, pay attention. So, Shai recovers that loose ball. Look at his head. He decides to go look at the other side. I see the shot clock. I got 8 seconds left on the clock. And now when I face up, where should I go and attack? On that left side, I got 3 teammates. And now if I want to get to the midi, I got no space. But I got, on this right side, I got Luka. Over here looking like my knee hurt. Ugly ass looking nigga. What the fuck you talking about? Just looking like, oh, my knee hurt. Right? Touching his knee, right? He over here touching his knee. And now he decides to go and attack, right? You help strong side corner. I kick the Chet. Boom, Chet shot. You're not helping. Or you're not closing out. I get that bucket. That's tough. End of the fourth. End of the fourth. And mind you, did I even count those last few attacks? Or were any of those? No, those are all sideline. Those are all sideline. I just had to make sure. I had to make sure I ain't lose count. The same set, end of the fourth. Same set, end of the fourth. Low-key, I low-key forgot, but gotta stay locked in. Gotta stay locked in. Peep this though. Peep this. 3 minutes left down the fourth. You got SGA, Jalen Williams going back to their 2-man action. He ends up getting a switch to Kyrie. Now pay attention what's gonna happen when he gets this catch here, right? I got J-Dub on his right side. I catch with my left foot right inside that 3-point line, right? Right inside that 3-point line. And so I end up kicking out the J-Dub. The ball gets tipped. He attacks. And closeout was a little better because it wasn't swung immediately. He misses that midi. But pay attention now, right? The same thing. Same set they're going back to. When he now gets this switch with Kyrie this time, when he catches the ball, notice where his left foot is, right? He catches with that left foot or his right foot as a pivot, and he's inside the arc. So now what could I do? One dribble is all it takes for me to be able to get into the paint, pull in 4 defenders, and now I'm able to go and make a play to Lou Dort because his closeout is Derek Lively as a big, and he knocks that down. Big time bucket. And now right there, those plays late game, like you can't do that shit, bro. Like these plays late game, These shits gonna hurt. These shits hurt. These plays hurt. These plays hurt. So pay attention. One thing SGA does great on defense, active hands. And anytime someone decides to stay lackadaisical, he gonna catch them lacking just like that. You thought it would be sweet, but now they up 3. This is their first lead like a few minutes ago since 4-2 when the game started. Another leg, give him 5. That's tough. The way this game ended, it was just like, damn, you really let this shit happen. Really let this shit end like that. And it was really because Kyrie and Luka had no rhythm, so they wasn't really there to close the game out. So now notice, right? They going back to the same set 1 minute in, and now Shai, PJ Washington, J-Dub, Derrick Jones Jr. He's just waiting up here for the screen, waiting for the time to get closer to 10. I go up and set that, I get the switch. But notice what happens in this play opposed to all the other plays, right? Shai ends up getting caught up. He doesn't get the rock. And so J-Dub has to go and take matters into his own hands. Boom, fade, or step back. He misses it. And now they up 4. Luka gets down. Derrick Jones slips behind the defense. Lob over here. Now they down 2. Shai's now like, all right, fuck that. Let me get my buckets. So I just need to get my buckets, right? So I bring the ball up the floor, high pick and roll, right? We're gonna go for a high pick and roll, milk the clock. Hold on. Oh, I just peeked out what they did off the ball. Hold on, peek this. You got 24 seconds left. Watch Luka. Watch what Luka's doing. Watch what Luka does. He tells Tim Hardaway Jr. from that weak side to step up on the screen so he doesn't have to switch on to Shai, right? So boom, Case and Wallace on the screen, Tim Hardaway Jr. on the switch. And now what's happening on that left? You got Case and Wallace with PJ Washington. It looks like somebody's finally about to learn because he decides not to clear out with Case and Wallace and stays on that left side. And so what SGA does, go to that right side. I got Chet. I got room on that right, sidestep, but swirl in and out. Now that's the 10th attack where he decided to go where it's in the same concept, let me say it. It's the 10th attack where he ended up attacking based upon the cut and the clear out. Let me say that. Based on the cut and the clear out. Most times there's a clear out, so he went, no clear out, I'll go the other way. And I just want to show y'all also how this game ended. The game ended ridiculous. So pay attention, right? You got 12 on the clock. Dallas down by 2. You seen Shai just missed that shot right there, right? That midi. Luka gets this right here, and then he ends up, boom, tripping, falling, foul, right? Free throw line, first shot. Damn, bro. Damn. At that point, it's just like you probably feel so deflated. You got no timeouts. You still taking them shots right there. But I also want to talk about what happens towards the end as well. Right, so pay attention. Chet hits this, 3-point game. Now notice this possession. Watch this possession in itself. So it's a 3-point game, 9.4. You got J-Dub, and then you also got Case and Wallace doubling on the ball. You want a foul. So you can play the free throw game and they got no timeouts. Boom, you miss that foul. PJ Washington gets it. That's an intentional foul, but they call that shit so late. That shit was ridiculous. They call that shit mad late. And they should have put more time on the clock, now that I think about it. Oh, wait. I just realized what the fuck happened. They never added time on the clock. I just realized this. Because when the game ended, the last possessions had 3.2 left. But the foul was called with 4.5. I just realized this shit. 4.8. They lost 1.6 seconds. Now, I know they have no timeouts, but the refs did fuck up. I don't think I had the last clip in here, but, or actually, you can still see it, right? You can still see it, but pay attention, though. Pay attention, right? Hey, bro. Look, I'm about to expose NBA referees, right? Look at PJ Washington. He caught this, reached 4.7 on the clock. He passes it up. Tim Hardaway Jr. gets it. It gets stopped at 3.2. He calls it off, calls an intentional foul. PJ Washington goes to the line with 3.2. They didn't even dispute this game because they didn't add 1.6 seconds. And 1.6 seconds, who knows what you could have done with 1.6? Who knows what you could have done with 1.6? They fucked up in real time. They forgot to add time on the clock, man. Somebody might get fined. Now, he did miss that shit. And that it practically right there is GG's. And he ended up going to shoot this next one and making it. But don't change the fact that they did that shit wrong. And that's something that I just realized right now. He hit the second one. That was low-key goofy, but that's wild as fuck. They messed up. And that's Shai for you. And if you could take one thing away from that, attack space. Shai, every single time he went, there was a cut from one side, he attacked space, right? And he attacked space using, and he was able to use moves that were in his bag and he was comfortable with, and not was trying to do some shit he just seen someone do. You got to figure out what's comfortable for you, comfortable for the way you move and the skill sets you have. And then when you attack that space, you could be able to do so effectively. So there's one takeaway from that. Learn from that. Attack space. Attack space. Don't worry about the top foot. Don't worry about X, Y, and Z so much, right? Those are important things, but the main thing is space. Because if you don't got space, you can't cook. So that's the end of the breakdown. We're going to be live again on Friday, probably 3 p.m. EST sharp. So whatever game we watching, maybe Nuggets game, Nuggets Timberwolves, maybe maybe this game, one of these two is going to be Friday stream. So make sure you tune into that. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you like, turn on those notifications, and make sure that you sacrifice your present self and invest into your future self and do everything you need to do to get to where you're here to be. So discipline or regret, you choose.